And we're live. It's Whiskey Watches and Wheels, and we are back, baby, from a week hiatus. We're all together over the weekend. I am the phenomenal Matt Green. Boys, introduce yourselves.
I'm Casey.
Yeah, I'm James.
And I'm Kevin.
We all live in different states. It's hard to get together.
Well, no,
and everything,
you live in the same state.
Well, that's true.
Okay.
And which is sad because we literally live. I mean, it's like 2 hours away, and we hardly ever see each other other than on the podcast.
That's quite a drive.
It's not bad. Not really.
Traffic and Disney.
Yeah, it's
and
fine.
Hurricanes.
Going down's easy.
I'm on 3 Celsius today.
Yeah.
You having heart palpitations?
No, I don't get
Not
this,
yet.
but I'm ready to go.
So going down to see Kevin's always easy. It's the coming back that sucks because of the traffic coming back. But we don't see each other enough, and it's always cool and a good time when we get to just
And you
hang
forget,
out.
like, while you're down there that, like, your kids are back at the house, and then you realize it on the way home. You're like, fuck, I gotta go home to my kids.
My kids are adults now, so fuck them bitches. You know, I mean, seriously, they can fend for themselves. I love them. I love them dearly, but they got debit cards and they got cars. They can go feed themselves.
Yeah.
You know, Stacy and I are going on vacation next week or this weekend. Actually, we're leaving, and peace out, guys. They're watching the dogs, and we're gone. So simple enough.
Great. So why did we get together?
It works. Yeah, it was fun. We're all at Amelia Island for the Concours d'Elegance, and it was a good time. So I guess I got a bunch of photos we can kind of review, go over. We can just kind of start at the beginning of the weekend and roll through the weekend and go from there. Kevin
Well,
and
the first weekend is Works Reunion.
Yeah, Friday
morning.
Friday is Works Reunion. And then, well, this year was a little different. So I guess for the listening audience, typically at, the Amelia is what they rebranded since Haggerty bought it. Friday is going to be Works Reunion, which is strictly just all Porsche, big Porsche show, all day event. Saturday is usually Cars and Community, in addition to Radwood.
Which is a Cars and Coffee, if people have
Cars and Coffee kind of thing.
Which used to be free.
So you can't call it Cars and Coffee if it's not free. So Cars and Community it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Radwood's a good time, which the funny thing is Radwood is really what I would pay to see, and that is free. So that's the ironic part.
Okay, so we'll start at Friday.
Yeah, so let's start Friday, Works Reunion. Let me pull up some photos.
And spoiler alert, best part of the weekend, best part of the car show, or the whole ordeal. Don't you think? Works Reunion. I think by far the coolest cars and coolest group of people was Works Reunion. I thought it was the best part.
And I won't say it was cool just because it's Porsche neither, because we can go into Radwood later, but I don't need to see a 1986 C24 or a just lame cars. So
yeah, well, I mean, but that's a personal choice. But I think as far as a well-rounded.
Yeah,
I think Radwood was quite interesting.
Yes,
yeah,
it was.
It was. Here's how you know that I enjoyed Works the most without even saying it. It's where I took the least photos because you're walking around and you're talking to people and you're seeing people you haven't seen in a long time and you're carrying on conversations. So you're not even thinking about pulling out your phone and taking photos unless you had like a camera rig and that was your purpose of being there. So I went through and I was pulling the photos together and I'm like, fuck, I don't have as many photos from Works as I thought I did.
And as a side note, the roof, how do you say it? I say roof. But anyway, the roof wheels on that 993, I think are some of the hottest wheels that have ever been made. And I would love a set for my 997. Freaking love those things.
So the funny thing is,
yes.
So can I be honest with you? They're a little different, but the same kind of 5-star slit middle. My Volkswagen Jetta from 2001 had wheels almost identical to that.
But they're also there's not a bunch of offset from the center of the wheel. And I really like that look.
So you like the flat face. You like it.
Yeah. I really think that's cool.
I like the concave, man.
Would you do those? Would you do those in black, Casey, for your car, or would you?
No, he would do them in white.
Well, let me tell you. The white wheels on a 997, I think, look tits when it's clean.
For like 15 seconds?
Yeah, but as soon as you fart in the car or whatever, man, they're destroyed. And so I think that I've never seen them. I've seen them in a matte black type look, kind of like on the purple car here. But I've never seen them in any other color than silver or like a matte black. So I'd probably do them silver or a gunmetal type color, but I mean, I know they're astronomically expensive.
So against that purple, bronze would look amazing.
Agreed.
So, and for those listening at home, or in your car, when you have a chance, do yourself a favor and just pop this up on YouTube at some point in time, because there's gonna be a lot of photos. I'll apologize now, but it's really hard to kind of recap the weekend without going over all the photos. So real quick, well, I lost my train of thought. That's fine. So we'll just keep going.
Let's go to the next picture.
Yeah.
So
next picture.
What I thought was great about Works is the amount of people that we actually knew that were showing cars. So, as I was saying earlier, I didn't take hardly any photos whatsoever.
Why won't
it just wound up being that I spent most of my time talking to other people.
You got to hit the arrow.
No, it wasn't letting me hit the arrow. That was the weird part. It usually lets me hit the arrow, and it's not letting me hit the arrow. This is Zoom.
Yeah,
where it's
the arrow
it's
a plus and a minus.
Right there. Yeah, we can see it. We can see it on the screen.
I can't see it on my screen.
The arrow
to the right of the
it was
picture.
off to the side. I see why. Okay.
There you go.
Jesus, Pete.
It's all good.
That's hot. Gunther, is that a Gunther Works car? Those are Gunther Works headlights, aren't they?
I believe so. Yes. No, this was roof as well.
Interesting.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, this was roof. They had 3 roof cars where they're side by side. This was roof as well.
Yeah, I like those wheels. See, the front wheels again are like a flat face. The rears can go super concave, and I'm good with that. But the fronts, I like the flat look.
And I was telling my wife too that, you know what, out of all the Gunther Works, the Singer, I would take a roof just because of the. I don't think they're as much as a Singer as a Gunther Works. I don't know what the pricing is, but just because of the heritage, they've been doing it for so long.
The true Porsche relationship there.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they have a bit more classic look to them as well. They're not nearly as over the top.
Yeah. Next.
All right. Next photo.
Our slideshow guy.
Yep. There you go. So side same there. The 3 roofs.
You failed at AV Club.
I guess so.
I like all those cars.
That's a hot car. One. Look at that. Look at that car there.
Crazy wrap.
Maybe I looked at it today. I've had the wrap on for almost 4 years, so it's not going to be there much longer. So
time to go.
Pretty soon it's going to be going. Matter of fact, I hit up the guy today to find out how much it would be to remove it, because I don't know that I trust myself to remove it. All right. This is from some of the Corral photos. A bunch of different cars.
There were. I liked walking through the Corral, and I'm sure you all will say something similar. But walking through the Corral, you see a lot of true customization of cars. Truly, like, one-off stuff, or like something that somebody thought was cool or whatever. Whereas opposed to like the Concours, where everything's like stock. Like it's just like basic car, like let's replicate what the factory did over and over and over again. I liked walking through the Corral because you saw some individualism and true like different stuff.
Hey, is this your first Amelia, Casey?
Yes, this is my first Amelia, because if you remember, I've been trying to come down the last several years, and work has gotten in the way every year. It's not my first concourse. Lexington, back when I lived in Kentucky, Lexington got one, and I went to the first 2 years. This would have been back in like 04, 05, something like that. So I went to the Concours a couple times and saw some super awesome cars. So that part of it I've seen, but this was my first Amelia, first Works reunion specific. Yeah.
I always like you're saying, Casey, in the Corral, I like how they group, all the 911s together, all the, Caymans and Boxsters and the Cayennes and Macans, and everything's all kind of grouped together. And yes, for those listening, there is Caymans and Macans, and there's everything. SUVs, you have all of there. So
there was some super cool Cayenne and Macans too.
Yeah, I mean, over 700 cars this year. So that's quite a feat to get that many Porsches all together in one spot.
Yeah, they made some money off of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
no
especially
doubt.
off the parking just to get around there.
Well, when the general parking is $40, that's bad enough. But then to sign up for the Corral, what was that?
And how much?
$80, something like that?
$80 for that? Okay.
Well, how much was the field?
Well, the judging field was $80.
Okay, so the Corral was then like 60 or 50 or 60.
Either way, a shitload of money.
That's the reason a lot of times I park on the judging field. Not that I care about being judged, but it's only a couple bucks more. It's really not that much more. But then you kind of get stuck there.
We're judging you constantly.
Well, you're stuck there.
That's
you're stuck there. The reality is, in the Corral, you can leave whenever you want, although I'm there all day anyway. But you're kind of stuck there on the field. So here we go.
I actually didn't make it to the Corral.
There was some good stuff over there, man.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good stuff over there.
There was.
James was drinking fucking Bloody Marys the whole time, and tacos and
wallering in the grass.
This was cool. Yeah. This was a Lee Keen build. It was sitting right next to me.
And, yeah, that was good looking. That was really good looking. I liked it.
Yep, it was really nice. So kind of this area, looking at the different Caymans.
Just a bad. So, I mean, when you think about 700 Porsches at Works Reunion?
Yeah.
I mean, that was way more than Radwood, of course, or the Concourse.
Correct.
Like, I mean, it's just a massive, and I was super impressed with really and truly that many people or Porsche owners attended. I think
I would say that historically, with Works being there, it is dominated by Porsches.
Yeah. Is that true?
It is.
Yeah. Well, where I was staying was on Fletcher Avenue, which is kind of the main drag to get to Fernandina Beach. And there are people outside, residents, that just pull their lawn chairs out and sit on the side of the road and wave at the cars going by.
I would certainly do that.
100%.
For the most part, you would get a string of BMWs, but most of it was Porsche after Porsche after Porsche. It is that Works definitely pulls the group in. If you're saying 700, that's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
What did you think, James? You and I had been last year. Did you think it was the same, less, or more cars?
Well, I think it was probably about the same. Maybe a few lighter. Maybe because it was spread out a little bit more. So I know that Dave over at Sonderworks.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean it was spread out more?
So I believe it's been the last 2 years, so I guess the third year now, where they put all the G bodies on the other side of the
that's right.
water, right?
Because last year there wasn't that many cars over there.
Right, there weren't that many cars, and I think that it's growing over there, and that's where they put the food trucks and such to draw everybody over. But they also expanded the width of it, and where Sonderworks was parked, I was like, wow, I didn't even know you were over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, maybe that's a bad location, but they drew great crowd, and everyone made the rounds, let's say.
And I can't believe that car's for sale. I swear to God, if any time I wanted a wad of cash, because I love that collar that he built.
Yeah, that.
Scroll your next picture while you're talking there, Matt.
Yep, there you go. 914, baby.
Dude, that was so hot.
Safari.
Yeah.
I would drive that in a heartbeat.
No, and I was very disappointed at the number of 914s. So I didn't go to Works last year because of work commitments. The year prior to that, though, they always pick a car that's kind of like the car of the year.
That was 2 years ago. It was
2 years ago they did 914, and there was a bunch of them. This year there was literally this one. There was the one white race car one on the field, and then there was one in the corral. That was it. There was only 3 there.
And you just never know. That's the thing.
Correct. And that's all my Works photos. That's all I had from Works.
Really?
Well, I included some.
These are everything in my folder. So
damn it, Kevin.
You've
had too many fucking Celsius, and you can't even put the pictures in the right fucking folder.
No, there were some photos in here, but they were from the concourse, so I slid them over to the concourse folder.
All right, enough sliding, please.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Anyway, Works Reunion is...
Don't worry. When you pick them and they're the concourse, I'm going to tell you, no, that was the Works Reunion.
Okay, that's fine.
If it's 2026 and you're asking me, like, are you going to drive back down to Amelia? First answer is, I'm probably going to fly. But second is, I will go to Works Reunion for sure. That was a lot of fun. And here's the evening. This was fun. I do wish I would have drove my car to this rather than, took the day off. But I tell you, my ass was tired after driving 10 hours in the 997. But this was super cool, seeing all these cars. The race cars that I'm sure we'll come across were super cool, and Kevin knows the dude, so that's cool. But seeing all these cars at the brewery was super fun.
Yeah, so I believe this is this the third year with the event over at Macama? So the Macama Brewery, good beer, good venue. They always have a great band to keep it rocking, and they put Porsches inside of the brewery.
Yes,
so
and if you're listening, some advice: staffing. I don't know if there's staffing issues in Trinidad Beach, but 3 people running the bar for 100 plus people is never enough.
100. I mean, I would say probably closer to 200.
Like, yeah, probably. But regardless, there was 3 lines usually 6 deep at any moment, and I would have drank more, but I did not. I actually walked out from my tab. I didn't even know if they closed it. I didn't even look at my bill because I wasn't going to wait 6 deep just to close out my tab.
You got Casey. You rattled my brain.
Come on, moving along.
Matt, I'm going to hold on a second. Let me finish my top. So no, Casey. I think what you're saying though is you necessarily didn't enjoy everything over at the actual concourse itself. But this year, because of rain, they canceled the Cars and Coffee and moved the concourse to Saturday. I think you would have enjoyed the Cars and Coffee more because there's literally double the cars on the field and a lot more of the stuff that we like looking at than the brassier shit and stuff.
That's probably true. True. Obviously, I don't know for certain, but I like seeing some true individualism, even if you're shooting for OEM plus, OEM plus, like that sort of idea. Seeing some of the stuff that was in the Macoma, whatever the fuck it is, the brewery's parking lot was a lot of fun to see some good work. You know, Corey from what's his place, the Collective.
The Collective.
You know, I love seeing his car, but you know, he's a super fun guy to talk to. And who else did we talk to out there? There's some GT2 was out there.
Yeah. I mean,
several GT3s.
You see everybody that you run into, especially here in Florida, throughout the year, tends to be there. Like Simon, who's the co-owner of Driver's Choice, who does all the work on my car here in the Orlando area, was there. So it's good to see lots of different people that you don't necessarily see on the daily basis. So this was actually inside the brewery where they actually do the tanks and everything.
What are we seeing here?
We are seeing a Red Bull race car.
997 GT3.
Yeah.
Right so this has actually, I believe it ran in Daytona for one race. Daytona, from what I believe Ed told me. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure.
I love the livery on it. I think that I like the Red Bull. Most Red Bull liveries, I think they do a really good job, I think, on their livery work. But that car was awesome.
Should do it. You should do this Red Bull livery on your car.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm more of a Monster guy, but I do like this livery. Or maybe Celsius. I could do a Celsius livery.
There you go.
I like this livery.
I like this livery a lot.
And for those looking at it, it just says 910 on it.
Is it? Yeah, it's a white car with 910.
It's a 911 with 910 on it.
Couldn't be more basic.
White long hood. Nice car, though.
Yep. So, and then we got a GT2 RS sitting out front of the...
Yeah, that was driven by a female.
And God bless her. She had a hard time backing in. Matter of fact, she tried it like 5 different times.
I'm sure it was her car. Okay, next.
Yeah. But
in the background is a Sonderworks car.
Fucking hell, Kevin. But that 993, hot. I fucking love that.
Yeah. I've never been a massive...
like the one behind Kevin right now.
Yeah, I've never been a massive 993 fan, but they're starting to grow on me after a while.
Man, that body kit on that, I think that's the
GT2.
The GT2.
Corral.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's a fantastic
great
color.
body kit.
Yep.
Hot. So good. 930. 930.
Do you like those wheels, Casey?
So these,
I don't like them.
Not as much.
You don't like them either, James.
No, I love them. I think they're great.
One of my favorite wheels.
Hate them.
I like it a lot.
That's okay.
That's what
makes the world go round.
Yeah. I don't know that I put them on mine. I know they're a good wheel, but this was the douchebag, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say douchebag. I do find it. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. So I'm really hoping, and I kept looking to see. I'm really hoping this car was clear PPF'd because all of the detail, all the graphics you're seeing are hand painted. So
if you walked within 6 feet of it, you could clearly tell it was hand painted.
Yeah, as soon as you got in the glare, especially and for those listening, it's almost like a puzzle piece type of motif. I think it was probably for autism, and so you could see where they had hand painted it on the colored pieces on the hood and on the roof, and it was all kind of blotchy, and it was fine.
Was it done well? Is that why you're digging on the guy here?
No, I'm not digging on the guy. No, I'm just saying, surely, God, you wouldn't hand paint over this car. So,
But they could have PPF'd a car and then hand painted over it.
Correct. And that's why I didn't see any lines for PPF, but I'm sure it was there. I'm sure it was.
But the next
so
one.
This car is actually not a wrap. So it's mint green GT2, GT4.
It was GT4, yes.
Yep, and it was not a wrap, which is one of my favorite colors.
It's nice.
I love this color. Yeah,
I don't know if I
mint
would have
green.
did the red brake calipers. I would have did a color match, but
bitchy minty.
I agree.
Is what Kevin calls it. But I do like this color. I think that's a fun.
It's got a roll bar in there, matched.
Yeah.
Fun.
They did the work.
Nice.
This is the car. Yep, goes everywhere.
So what is that? That's a 356 coupe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is a rally car. They just did last year. They did Mexico, a rally, 1,000-mile, something like that in Mexico, and
the inside was more impressive with all the gauges and everything they have in there.
Yeah, and it won on Saturday as well.
Yeah, it looked like the same instead of an airplane.
So they got first place in their category on the Concours.
That's Corey's car.
This was not Corey's car. This was another white GT3 that was there.
997.
In that group, we have no idea. We can say it's anybody. That's Corey's car.
Yeah. They all look the same.
It's Casey's or it's mine.
No,
is that a 991 or a 997?
997.
997.
997.
That is dot one.
Dot one.
Yep. Same as James. A slant nose. Really cool.
So this car, I know the owner of this car, 4-speed, original turbo. Yep. Turbo. He works at Porsche Jacksonville. Steel body. It's a slant nose, but kind of a kit. He was talking about it's 500 horsepower to the wheels.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and I think he's going to change. He wants to change those vents or do something with it. He got a good deal on it, purchased it right. So
nice. Is that a Macan in the back on bags?
Yeah, that Macan.
It is.
That Macan is fucking hot. I like it. I don't like the color. Like I couldn't drive the color.
I like the color. You can have those rims. I'll take that color.
The fact that it's slammed. I think Matt and I, or maybe it was you, James, that were saying like these things aren't used as SUVs, so there's no harm in slamming it down, putting a box on top. You really do get all the benefits of basically making it a wagon, and I really like it. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was me and you, Casey, when they got pulled out, and I was like, yeah, I would do that all day.
Yeah. So last week, my daughter was up, and we went to IKEA because she got a new place, and she got a couch, and somehow we squeezed this couch into the Macan, but I literally could not drive
Very
the
small
car.
Couch.
She had to drive the car because I couldn't get behind the wheel.
Oh, that's funny.
To squeeze in. So yeah, it is like a wagon. Use it.
Yeah, I mean, there were just so many nice cars there. And to Casey's point, it's not like concourse, hey, just get rolled off the line.
These are driven cars. People
do stuff to them. They make it their own, and that's really what it's all about.
Everyone drove them to Amelia Island, so
yeah. So some more photos. Sunset coming down.
Oh, that's my wife's hand.
Yeah.
She enjoyed the sours.
That was the last photo from the after party.
That was really good. And again, I think that if I come back down, which I would like to, but I do think that the Works reunion was the best part. I thought that was a lot of fun.
All right, so here was my favorite event out of everything. I mean, I love Works, I really do, and it's probably a tie. But I like Radwood because even though I love Porsche, I love everything, and I love everything from the 80s and 90s. And
you can't love everything.
No, I really do.
That's
man.
like saying everything is my favorite. You can't say that.
I do. If it's got 4 wheels. It's got 2 wheels. I love cars and motorcycles. I really do.
So you don't love the trike that you wrapped in?
I put up with it because my wife loves it.
Yeah, well.
So let's put it like that. No, it's cool. It's fine. It is what it is. But it's a good time. And here's old Kevy pulling out the show in his car. Kev, was this the first year that you actually had your car not in Radwood but on the lawn at Works?
No, I had it last year.
You have it last year on the lawn too? Okay.
The same one?
So you did Works and Radwood last year as well.
I did.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't there at Works last year. That's why I didn't see it on the lawn. That makes sense.
So this car right here is a beautiful specimen of a 1980 Wysock in black metallic. Complete interior done by Sonder Works over in the Charlotte, North Carolina. Cornelius, actually, North Carolina. Very period correct. Next picture.
Spoken like a man who wants to sell his car. So
my favorite car?
Clown Shoe.
My favorite car.
Clown Shoe, for sure.
I love these. You're going to see there's like 3 photos of different ones that were there. There's actually several, which is unique because you don't see a lot of these around. And this is the best car ever.
Well, any car that we saw that was this color, i.e. British racing green type of metallic, had to have gold wheels. So I know you passed a 996 earlier in the same color with gold wheels. It's just a perfect combination to start off with.
Absolutely.
And then the BBS centers is just a great touch with that red.
Well, if you remember that when we did, I don't know what episode it was, but when we all built our own 911s, I did that. I made mine green with gold wheels. It's just a great color combination.
So the wheels on my Cayenne Turbo are shitting the bed. Maybe I'll do some gold on them and turn all the silver trim to gold, and we'll see how that goes over.
You could do that.
That'd be fun.
I mean, I'm probably
with
going
your
to
magic wand. Turn it from silver to gold.
When the wrap comes off my car is actually slate gray metallic. I've made the decision that I'm not going to rewrap it. I'm going to have it paint corrected and leave it slate gray metallic. And I will probably have my wheels powder coated bronze at some point.
Nice.
HREs.
I think that would look great. Yeah.
Everybody's copying C-dubs.
So the Clown Shoe is such a classic car. I know that many people hated them when they came out, but they've really aged well. And I would grab an A or a non-A because they're great driving cars.
I wouldn't grab
So when you take your wrap off, hopefully it won't be like this car because he can't even peel his wrap off because the paint's coming off with it.
Oh, man.
Well, and if the paint does come off,
this is a
then
woman.
I'll figure that out then. But hopefully it doesn't.
This is a chick that owns this car because if you look at the
it's a guy.
It's a guy. Yeah.
Well, the Instagram tab that's on the window is a female.
Well, and there was a female leaving in it because I saw her leave.
FYI.
That was Paul's car in the background and Aaron.
Where? Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Over there. Yep.
Yeah. Hey.
Don't worry, we got pictures of her. I took some pictures.
Yep.
Next.
All right. So
this is a weird car that I don't know that I've ever seen before.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is.
JDM?
It's Acura, right?
No.
It's
a Mitsubishi.
Oh,
it says it right there on the side.
Okay.
But it was some weird ass. I'd never seen it before.
The back end almost looks like an RX-8, but it's not.
Yeah.
Right-hand drive?
Yes.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
All right. So these are Delicas. I love Delicas. I think they're the coolest little vans ever.
Next.
Minivan.
Oh, there you go. That's the old
Grand
National. Love
you gotta have a Grand National.
I saw him leaving, and whenever he went over a little bump, the thing just kept going.
Yeah.
It's like being on a float.
Hey, back in the day, man.
I love those things, 85 miles per hour speedo, and I've always wanted one. My wife said no because I'm not white trash.
Well, it's okay.
I would disagree.
So, growing up, I had the biggest affinity for these G bodies. I mean, all the GM cars of this era,
they're
called the G body.
They're awful.
Man, my first car, 1980 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, almost identical to this. Identical.
This to me is the epitome of the 80s.
Do you have curb feelers?
I did not.
The epitome of the 80s that I hate. Only the European cars of this era.
These things were fast, though, for the time. They were fast. They're fast now. It's okay. They can still be fast.
Hey, there is a huge following for those cars.
Oh, yes.
There is. Yes.
So see, this is kind of the thing, like Mitsubishi B2000. I know it's a good, clean car. I don't need to see that at a car show. That's just, I don't know. Yeah. This is my personal opinion. Same thing. I mean, the Grand National, okay, yes, it has a place. But there's some other cars there that I saw,
we're gonna get to them, Kevin.
Well, that's what makes Radwood is all about. That it's just about cars of the era. So it didn't necessarily need to be cool cars. It was just cars of the era. Hell, the guy that won Best of Show was
your Cutlass Supreme could have been on there.
But if
it could have been absolutely,
yeah. If you think about it, car shows are stuffy, right? A Concours is stuffy, right? And everyone is.
This is the opposite of that,
right? You have a speck of dust, and then not only is it about the car, but it's the person who owns the car. So that's part of the thrill of Radwood is the people and the cars.
Yeah, I mean, the
guy who drove that Grand National, he's the original owner on this. Got 100 and something thousand miles. He bought that car brand new.
Right, and that's a great story. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the guy that won Best of Show was driving a purple Plymouth Voyager minivan.
Yeah, and I'm a little younger than y'all, but that was the fucking minivan of my day. Growing up, everybody fucking had those things. They were shitty then. They're still shitty now, but it is interesting to see somebody keeping one up.
Plenty of JDM goodness. I don't know who these fellas are, but
damn, I look sexy.
We all do, man. We all look freaking styling. We're all looking great.
That's awesome. So that's the first time that we've all been together at Amelia.
It is, yes.
Which was
very
great.
First time. It was good stuff. I thought this car was really cool.
That was super cool.
Yep, jacked up Volvo. Then we had a Truno, lots of good JDM goodness. MR2, second gen.
Mm-hmm. Super cool.
Yep, very very clean too. I mean, they took a lot of good care of this car.
That was JDM as well because right-hand drive.
It was. Yep. This is not the back of Kevin's car. It's back of someone else's car.
I wish.
Yeah.
He is thirsty too.
Yep. I just like the tag. Lots of BMWs were there.
So James, you were saying that the BMW had their meet there?
Well, I don't know exactly what happened, but I think based on the Cars and Community being canceled, I think that there was an overflow and they put all the BMWs, there were E30s, but a lot more modern cars. So, more
all in the back.
2010s,
Yep.
They were all in a row. So I do believe that the E30, there was something special going on with that. But no complaints here. They were all great looking cars, but a good portion of them didn't fit the show.
No, because so for those listening, Radwood is 80s and 90s, so it stops at 99. So really the only water cooled Porsche that was there, other than maybe some shark nose stuff, there was a 99 what it got 996.
Use your words.
I know. I had to, listen, I'm almost 50, dude, man. My brain's rattled today. It's been a rough week. So 996. I mean, in case you were saying, or at least I was saying, hey, at some point they got to break, it's 25 years, man. We got to get some 2000s in there at some point.
So that's each 6 Series.
If you say so. I thought I love the look, but I don't know the nomenclature on BMW.
Wasn't that an M6? I thought I saw an M6 there, but anyway, those cars were a lot of fun. I had a friend who owned one back in the early 2000s, and he would autocross it.
It's a great car.
And every time he would fucking break his radiator mounts, and he fucking he sold it. Ended up getting a Miata to track and autocross. But they were cool cars, and especially for the time, a lot of fun, but super expensive to do on track or autocross stuff.
What I liked about the E24 is the back seats. They kind of look like the Ferrari seats that would be in the front seat. So the coolest seats were in the back on the.
So that was a red cabriolet, and then the front of Paula's car.
Yep. So Betty White
Targa.
So what was cool is we had the ability to park early on Friday for Radwood. Otherwise, we'd have to show up at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning to park. So we went over. Paula and Kevin went out, took their cars over, and we got prime spot. And we both backed in, and we were tail to tail. And there were two other cars that had whale tails as well, and we were all right there. And it was primo parking. So got a lot of people, and we had a great place to put seats and hang out and chill together. So I thought that was fun.
It was.
Yeah, and they were there all set up. I mean, I know that you said that in the evening we dropped off, there wasn't a lot of there. I got there. Me and Aaron went over at 7:30 in the morning because they were nice enough to give us press passes. And so we got in super early, and everything was already set up on the field.
That's great.
Ready to rock and roll. So it was pretty impressive.
I think we were the third and fourth car to pull in.
And fortunate for that, because had we come any later, you could have been in the back 40 there. Like the spot that you all landed was a super nice spot of, fairly up front, close to the microphone, which in the back was not doing so well with sounded like a ground loop, but it ended up being a good spot.
Yep.
Here's a great picture of Betty White and Paula in her 80s garb.
Yeah. So that couple, they didn't win the outfit contest, but they were fun.
They were
exactly.
Something.
Yeah.
So, that's a big theme about Radwood is everyone kind of dresses up and dresses the part.
Everyone, I think, is a very loose term. Some people would be more appropriate.
Correct.
And some of them were fucking weird.
Last year, I think a lot of people dressed up last year.
Yeah, a lot more, I think, last year.
Really?
When they did the contest, it was 3 deep.
Well, the contest took way too long to get through. That was a little painful.
Yep.
But I do think that it the 80s and 90s is just hard to dress up as because it's all just like neons and sweatsuits, and then you got what like Kevin wore, which is some cool colors, sport coats and rolled
like Miami Vice style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it's really a dichotomy because there's really the style of the time fucking sucked. So you kink your hair, you roll your pants, and then you got it going.
Yeah.
Kevin.
So this is an Acura.
Tegra Type R.
1998.
Nice car.
VTEC, baby.
Yeah,
this was a cool car. I like pink wheels on this one. Car. Yep.
Yeah, 964.
Pink wheels. Another that was that same MR2.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Mercedes.
That was the SEL 500.
500. Yeah,
yep.
I think so.
Yep. Exactly.
It's almost like the Hammer.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's my car. So this car, I told my wife, shut up. I told my wife, we walked around a little bit.
This car, what he's talking about, is an RX-7 for those who can't see the pictures.
Last gen, right?
Yeah, that's a FC. I would certainly be on a lookout for one of these if I had garage space. I'd love a turbo. Yes, the engines need a lot of work and constant, the apex seals, blah, blah, blah. But the car is really fun. I think the look is classic. The interior is, I don't know that it's aged that well, but I do think the car is beautiful.
Well, what I think is interesting, because I'm a different generation, but, I was raised on the original RX-7. And when these came out, I was just like, what happened? So it's interesting that you think it's really cool, and I just don't think it's cool because of the what was previous to it. So
yeah, so it's obviously not boxy, right? This is more swoopy and
that was the sign of the times for sure. Everything was rounded,
but it still had pop-up headlights. The Wankel engine I think is cool. The fact that it was, or you could get it turbocharged, it was fast, it sounded amazing. And I think when you lowered the suspension on these, put some spacers, silver I don't think did it the best. I liked it in
like the red.
Yep, exactly right.
Red or black.
Although the Mazda red at this time was awful, as my Miatas I had were single stage red, and you could wear through that paint just buffing it by hand.
Your rag would turn red.
So what years was this?
Early 90s
generation. Yeah. So then if you were to go back to that Integra R, you would see that whole rounded feel as well.
Sure.
Correct. And the MR2 second gen, the first gen was very boxy.
And I think that was coming out of the whole, if you think about going back to the 80s with the BMW boxy, right? You had the Mercedes boxy, everything had those hard edges, the K car, shit like that.
And you look at the Supra of the time as well.
Right.
Is someone killing your dog, Matt?
Yeah.
Right. So it's okay. The software will edit it out.
Yeah. Early on, right? The Celica, right? Very, very angular.
So there you go. There's an 86 MR2. Look how boxy
so here's the previous gen. That's how boxy is.
So, yeah.
Just super
sign of the times. Pretty neat.
JDM cars of the time, though.
Correct.
And if you could do a Radwood that was all just like JDM early 80s, late 80s, it would be cool to see the whole dichotomy of the square bodies to the rounded bodies and see just those cars side by side and see how those gens kind of progress, because they did. All the 80s was super boxy square, certainly cool, and then to the 90s, which is my era more, starts getting rounded.
Is that a Suzuki Sidekick or is that a Jimny? I'm not sure what that is.
It's a Jimny.
Yeah, maybe a Jimny. Everyone had one of these, or knew someone had one of these.
Yep, exactly.
LeBaron. So the couple that you showed previously in the matching track suits, this was the car they drove in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a LeBaron with the wood grain. Another convertible. Was that a Beretta? That's a Beretta.
That's a Beretta.
Yeah. Oh God! So these cars were so horrible then, and they're horrible now.
Oh, yeah, they're awful.
Great color,
convertible Beretta. Although my mom had one.
How many pictures of this did you take?
I didn't take these photos.
Jesus Christ!
GTR, another GTR,
right next to it.
Oh,
clown shoe.
Yep, another clown shoe.
Celica.
Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah. Another clown shoe.
Same one, different angle.
Yep. Oh yeah, they're in the yellow one.
Oh, we got a clown shoe fan.
That's me.
And there's Kevin.
There's Kevin.
Look at this guy, man. My friend said I look like I should own a racehorses.
Yeah, dude. I mean, come on, friggin', GQ right there. Sorry, that was Radwood.
Radwood was fun.
So
I did like it.
You missed a show, right? So on Friday after works, there was the Lemons car show up on the north side by Fernandina Beach.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't go to that.
Well, I did. And I got to say, it rocked out.
Really?
There were some amazing cars there that could have been in Radwood, but they were just so customized. There was a Miata here with 2 V8.
Well, we could have talked about it if you took some pictures, James.
Well, I've got a photo of it.
It would be good if it was loaded in. About Radwood, I do wish, over where we were, I do wish the food choices were better. Radwood, if you're listening, I would like some better food. I thought the drinks were decent, albeit expensive as hell. But people were awesome, just in general. And, of course, our crew was a lot of fun.
It's a good time. I got scorched.
It was a good time.
What would have been good?
What was nice
is had like mimosas in the morning. Oh, that would have been great.
That would have been great, wouldn't it? Yeah, if we had brought the mimosas. Yeah.
What was nice is Magnus Walker stopped by Paula's car and took photos and stuff, so that was pretty neat.
We didn't see pictures of that.
I was on Instagram. I don't have any photos.
I will say this. Other than just saying hello to Magnus, that's the extent of my speaking to him. But I watched that guy from afar, and he literally, anyone that wants to talk to him, he'll stop, he'll shake their hand, he'll take a photo. I mean, he's very down to earth. And I feel sorry for the guy because even early in the morning at 7:30, I was walking around the concourse taking some of these photos, and he's out there as well. And people are stopping him and everything. I mean, so literally he's getting stopped from 7:30 in the morning all the way, just nonstop all day, and has no problem stopping, talking to people about stuff. It was pretty cool. Jason Camisa, who's used to write for Motor Trend and does a bunch of stuff for Haggerty now. He was there at Radwood. I spoke to him for a little while in the morning. Very nice. Again, very gracious. No problem talking to people. So it's always good to hear that.
I have this dinosaur stuffed right over there.
Oh, that's right. This is the thing you won from P-Car Talk.
Yeah.
So we're going to start rolling through some just photos of the actual
now we're
going to
start going through some pictures. Okay.
Kevin's finally awake.
What are you?
Click on this fucking. I never cuss. Click on the arrow. Let's go.
Does this bother you, buddy?
Jeez.
This car was fucking cool.
Hot Wheels car. That's
It was cool. It's
what's
based on
the
a
guy's
Dodge
name?
van or something.
Super interesting, Kevin, that you brought some knowledge.
Yeah. He just passed away. I forgot his name.
Yes.
Yeah. Next.
Old man Barry. Yeah.
Whatever. Weird looking, like long back end. If a I don't know how to explain it. It's a van with a bed in the back, but you get into the front. Lots of race cars, Indy cars, F1 cars.
They were specific cars.
Just
Elio Castroneves was the honoree this year, so they had his cars there.
Okay.
So previously they had, when Jeff Gordon was there, they had his race cars in the same spot. So I guess that's what they've been doing.
Is that Schumacher?
Elio Castroneves. Yeah. Elio Castroneves, yeah.
You sure? 3 Dale Earnhardt. I didn't know Dale Earnhardt drove open wheel.
Do it for Dale.
Yeah. So that car there was Elio's first win, and the one behind it was his first Indy 5.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So it was cool. Marlboro. Lots of really cool stuff that I know nothing about. I mean,
I gotta say that whole side over there, I'm sorry, that is the geriatric area where
the pre-war
you better
stuff.
go over there and have paddles and oxygen to keep these people alive. I'm sorry.
And last year, though,
sounds terrible.
So many cars, so many better cars. I think the rain scared off a lot of people. Maybe they didn't want to put them out there. They probably brought them, but decided not to bring them out because last year, I mean, Ferraris, Porsches,
Datsuns. I didn't see a single
Datsun
Z car on, and every year I've been going for 10 years straight. Every year there is a pack of them.
And what did you say? This is the lightest that ever been?
It was,
James?
No, not the lightest. COVID was the lightest.
Yeah, that's true.
But what I walked through and I was like, that's it?
I don't remember seeing a single Ferrari except for the SP or whatever, the open roof one.
Oh, the Dino. There was a beautiful Dino.
There was
a
Dino. You're correct.
Beautiful Dino,
which is not really a Ferrari.
There is but it's been brought into the family. Yes. Right. So
and see how much space is between the cars. I mean,
they're spread out.
Usually, you can't even walk in between cars.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. So once again, third year in a row, there's rain. right? So at some point, Amelia's got to wake up and say, maybe we shouldn't have it on the same weekend every year that it rains, right?
Nature does not know the date.
I know that,
but we do have a thing called Farmer's Almanac that we can look at.
That also doesn't know the date.
So Casey and I were talking about this. These cars do absolutely nothing for me other than the fact I can appreciate the artwork. I love artwork, and so I mean they're beautiful to look at, and the detail that these guys, you were literally
hood ornament.
Well, you had metalsmiths out there like literally hand building this shit. So I can appreciate it from that aspect of it, but that's really it. I mean, I have no aspiration to ever own anything like that.
That's a good
These
shot.
are cool. These Brickles were very cool.
I take one. Bricklin?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I had a gold one and an orange one. The gold wings. Things are just kind of cool looking to me. Bugatti.
Yawn.
Yep. Porsche Speedster.
That's a Gunther works.
Yep.
Yeah, I just don't like this car.
I'm not a fan of their lines.
Yeah.
I prefer Singer stuff over Gunther if I'm going to pick one of the two.
So I think if you want a lot of carbon, Gunther. If you want backdate, totally different crowds.
Singer.
That's what this car behind me is going to be a GW, as we call it. Look, so 964 pushing 983. What's that? GT40.
GT40. That's what Casey was wanting to see. He loves those.
I'd jump in that and steal it.
So Testarossa.
So the three of us, right? Kevin, I guess you were walking around with Aaron, but the three of us took a lap around, and when we went, the time of day was terrible because there was literally 6 deep around every car.
Yeah, it was bad. So here we got a Ferrari Testarossa sitting next to an NSX.
Yes, please.
Well, that's not just any NSX though. That is a JDM Nismo NSX. Not
Correct.
Nismo. Was it not Nismo?
I'm glad you almost brought knowledge.
Nismo is Toyota.
No, Nismo is
That's Nissan.
Nissan.
Okay.
Nissan.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll come to me.
We are
So
full
close.
of knowledge.
So
Full of
close.
knowledge. Just plenty of opinions, zero knowledge.
That was a JDM Honda NSX.
Jeff.
Yeah. So Eleanor, or clone of Eleanor, slant nose.
See, I thought we were.
There you go.
Was the Dino, and I just thought this was one of the most beautiful cars out there on the field. I just love the styling and the lines.
It never fails.
Silver Dino. It's a great looking car. And these guys, they did it right. 914.
There you go.
I will own one at some point in time.
Look just like that too.
What? I don't even know what this is.
It's
a Ferrari. No.
It's Porsche.
By the way, Type R.
Porsche.
That's
Okay.
a Porsche.
I don't know why I didn't think of that. It was
Type R.
Type R.
I think that's a 908.
I've never seen it
908.
before. So
I'm just.
Not an expert.
I thought these people were
two
cool.
geezers out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're
fun.
cool, man. They dressed the
pictures
part.
taken out of all of them.
Absolutely. They were fun.
They literally made every Instagram
Mm-hmm.
account out there.
Yeah. I mean, they were fun, and they were dressing the part, and they're having the time of their life.
Yeah, they were good.
Some of this was early in the morning, so that things hadn't
Ferrari.
been undone yet. So the wrapping on them. They had some vintage motorcycles there, so I thought they were
Bikes
cool.
were cool.
The
By
Triumphs.
car manufacturers specifically.
I thought the red tires on this bike here was
Yeah, that's
Pretty cool.
really nice.
Yep.
I got a blue tire on my bicycle.
Old Indy cars. So this was Adam LZ's car. Again,
Kevin's
mint.
favorite color.
Love this color.
And that is not an original mint green. He had that car completely stripped down and painted.
Nice job.
Noted.
440, 41, something like that.
Yeah.
Change the wheels.
More Porsches. GT.
RS.
This, I kept trying to get some information on this thing. Magnus
Is that a
featured it on
Jag?
his thing.
That's a Jag.
Yeah, that's
XJ. Yeah, it's XJ.
I think it
with
started off with, but they're calling it. It's got some code name. It was some sort of hand built.
but it's
kind of
his
thing.
car that he's
Right.
doing. That he's gonna kind of like Singer's doing, but they're gonna be doing it for Jags.
Okay.
I love the car and I love the way it sounds. They had it cranked up
Yeah.
when I was walking the field.
What does it sound
not-
like? What's it got in it? Is it V12?
It is a V12, but I will say these cars were not. Hopefully they
Fast?
stripped it. No, they were fast, but they were electrical
Loads.
issues. So I'm assuming it's been completely like a full resto mod because nothing ever worked on these cars. I like the way it looks. Me personally, it
It
does
looks
give
like a
you the look
Mustang.
at.
This setup right here. You like this?
Well, you know
I
what it
like
reminds
it.
me of? It reminds me of, look at it real quick. It reminds me of a Camaro back end
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
Jag hood with the
With-
Japanese, I don't know,
Or-
what's that Japanese style where they have the
Get-
big
Yeah.
Well, it's got GTR lights. I mean, this whole upper brow here over the lights, and then slope down. That's got like the GTR look.
And it's got the 944 flares or Conquest flares or whatever.
Yeah.
And turbo.
It's a homologation of lots of different things.
Well,
but I can definitely see the Trans Am in the back now that you mentioned it, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a car, those Jags, you just don't see them around anymore at all. No.
It
just never made it.
Super long hood. I mean, that's that stereotypical Jaguar look.
I loved them. I thought they were great looking, but they couldn't make it. They're all in the junkyard.
Cars I don't care about.
Yeah, but much of like old stuff. This thing was kind of funky.
That was cool. Yeah.
2 wheels in the back.
Oh, it's 3-wheel.
Yeah, 3-wheel.
3-wheel. Something I would never want to own, but fun to look at.
No, don't want to take a corner, flip over.
No, see, I fucking hate this.
I love that car.
This. I would pee on the back.
So that is a McLaren Mercedes
Speedster
coupe, rolling doors, or I don't know. It's just I thought it looked cool.
It's cool looking. So old pace cars.
Pace car.
Yep.
All right, great. Well,
yep. That was a wait, go back. That was
you found one you want to talk about.
Yeah, that was a Pantera. I don't know what model it was, but it's a cool car, I thought.
Yeah.
Next page.
All right.
Another
old
Jag.
MG. Or the MG.
There you go.
I think it's an MG. See the red on the hood there. Maybe an MG, but
maybe it's Bugatti. Who knows?
Who knows? Possible. So,
love this. I saw this car and maybe the next picture, which should be a Carrera GT, a white Carrera GT. If it's not, it's certainly not.
It's more 914s from
that's more
from Matt.
Yeah.
But the 918 and a Carrera GT speeding past us as we pulled in on Friday morning, I guess it was. They sound amazing. They look amazing, and I want them both.
Yep.
So that won an award. That was Keith Innes.
Yeah.
And his car won an award.
Yep. All right. So
which I'm surprised. That's a Lotus. Super badass.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
that reminds me of Speed Racer, that movie. Or that
love this car.
Oh yeah, it does look at Speed Racer.
Yeah.
This is a great car.
More Porsches.
Like Kevin's.
Another Lotus. Super sweet.
Yes.
Yep.
Why don't people make cars like that? Like, I think I don't know. I know it's a lot of handwork, and you can tell from the ripples and stuff. I would drive that thing all day long.
Well, Elon tried, and it didn't go very well.
Yeah. There you go, Elon.
Yeah. So
it is really fun.
It is cool, though. Especially the back end right there, how it races up.
I'd love to
by the roll bar.
Yeah.
All right. So
yes.
Primos 935.
Yep.
I love the wing on that.
All right. These were really cool, man. These were
big
like
body Mercedes.
Yeah, these things are wild. These things are wild looking. So this was the patina collection over there.
I had went down there when we went to the Miami Grand Prix, so I had seen all these cars.
This body
with Troy. But
yep, and we're gonna get one of these guys. These guys are interested in being on the podcast. So
pretty amazing collection. Troy is much more of a Mercedes guy than I am, so he knew everything about them. But really cool cars.
I haven't driven a Mercedes from this era, let alone this this version of Mercedes. I just driven like the big 300 series or whatever it was in the late 90s. But I would love to have the opportunity to drive one of these cars. They look like boats and they look heavy and like GT, which would be, I'd probably enjoy that for my daily. But that black one specifically, man, I think that's just got a cool retro.
Well, and for those listening that's not seeing the photos, imagine like Mercedes from the 90s, but back in the 90s, when you get all the mini trucking catalogs, the 80s. Okay, so the 80s.
These from the wide bodies.
Yeah, they all have like wide body kits. They have like Testarossas and stuff, kits on them.
Yep.
Did you happen to get a photo of the Picasso interior?
Of the purple one for the inside? Yes, that was my wife's like, ugh. I'm like, I would drive the shit out of that thing.
Yeah. So you don't have the Picasso interior, but you have 15 914 shots.
These are my pictures.
I think
these are Kevin's pictures, not mine.
Great.
So, all right. So that was all the photos from the event.
I love it.
So that was it.
Yeah.
And hey, we thought we weren't going to kill an hour of talking, but Casey, what else do you have to talk about that you said?
All right. I want to bitch for just a minute if you
Let's
can
do
imagine that. All right. So let me show you what my 2008 Cayenne weighs, right? Like, am I allowed to share my screen here? Let me see here. Is this picture or this screen? My 2008 Cayenne Turbo, 5,200 pounds. Like, that's really kind of heavy. And when you drive it, say in the mountains of North Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, you can really feel that that's a kind of a heavy vehicle. It kind of lumbers around, and it's fun, it's fast in a straight line, but my God, is it kind of heavy. Then you're like, okay, cars are more modern today, and what else could we have that's similar? So then the new 2025, Kevin, I see you laughing, quit laughing. The 2025 BMW M5 comes out, and have you seen the curb weight of this bitch?
No.
This bitch is 5,400 pounds.
Wow.
100 pounds for a fucking sports car, quote unquote. And I use that loosely. I think that's wild. And
it's a hybrid.
I don't give a shit.
I know.
It's supposed to be a sports car. It's supposed to be a nimble vehicle. And again,
it's a 5 series.
It's a 5 series.
It's a 5 series.
James, go ahead. Weigh on this. You're the BMW expert.
It is almost the same length as a previous Gen 7 series. It's a fucking massive vehicle.
Well, it's because the 3 Series now is the size.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but realistically, you can take every manufacturer and they're all doing the same thing. They have to. And I know that talk to your local government.
Well, okay. Don't get me started on that, James.
Casey, look at our cars. Look at our 911s and look how wide the 992 is. And look how big it is.
Yeah, so my SC is 2,600 pounds.
And how much was your 991?
Oh gosh,
38.
I don't know, but 2,600. You got a sports car. I don't know. I don't think an M5 is a sports car. I think it's just a fast sedan.
Yep, I would agree.
So
fast sedan is
pull up the M3 weight.
Here is 997 weight, 3,200 pounds. Let's just use 3,200 pounds. I think these cars. I think a true sports car should be under 3,200.
Casey, that car's almost 20 years old.
I don't care. We are sports
so
car.
So a 992. I'm looking at 992 right now is anywhere between 3,263 and 3,700, depending on the.
Fucking hell. 37 too much. 32 is pushing it. 97 is 3,200 pounds. I think that's pushing it. I think to be nimble and to be fun and to feel that connection with the road. I think 3,000 pounds is really where you need to be. And I find it really now. I haven't driven a new M5 and I'll never drive one. But I think these cars it's a tank, man.
Well,
a 2000, I looked it up as my wife and I were on our evening walk with the dogs. A 2000 Camry is 3,200 pounds.
Well,
that car will demolish anything it hits on the road other than a fucking F-150, a 2025 F-150.
I've got the car for Casey.
You do?
I do.
I hope you.
There it is.
There you go.
So I have a picture of that.
It's fucking
I saw that was at when I went to.
So it's a Miata with V8s.
Yeah, but that's the what's the Turkey Rod Run? That was at Daytona during the Turkey Rod Run.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Hey, so
that looks
hot tip for Amelia is keep an eye out for the Lemons show.
I'll have to check it out next time. So.
Noted.
All right, real quick, before we leave, I got to go over this real quick. I got a new watch, and you guys know about it, but the audience don't know about it. So I'm going to talk about it real quick. Leave real fast. So let me share my stand. I just think this watch.
You know how to do that, Boomer?
I do, buddy. I do. Who taught y'all how to share the screen? Okay, so this is a new Seiko
watch.
GMT. I have several Seiko GMTs. This is a new one. I like it a lot, but one night we were talking about Seikos, and I went down the rabbit hole, and I started looking, and then I found all this different JDM stuff that's never offered here. And then I kept going down the rabbit hole and I found this here because I've been on the hunt for a salmon dial watch for a while. They're calling this salmon. It's really more of a copper. And so this watch is really cool. This is reference number SSK043K1. This was an Asia only release. It was actually not even in all of Asia, not even offered in Japan. It was made only for the Southeast Asia market, which is Singapore, Hong Kong, Macau, Malaysia, and Brunei.
Therefore, I would not call it a JDM.
What's that? Yes, and it's not made in Japan. It's made in Malaysia, but I dig it. I think it's really, really cool. I had it imported. There's only 1,300 made of it. This is number, what would I say, 134 of 1,300.
I think that's fucking cool.
Yeah, and
I love the exhibition back too.
Yeah, it's nothing special. It looks exactly like my other.
No, it is special. It looks awesome.
Well, I mean, what I mean by that is it's made just like every other GMT that I have, because I have the orange one and the yellow one and all that. But, Hardix crystal. It's a 42 millimeter diameter. Got the same 4R4 GMT movement that Seiko uses. I got 41 hours power reserve, 24 joules, crystal back. So it's cool.
Your marker is off though.
My marker is
centered.
Off. Oh, well, that was from.
I think it's a really good looking watch. I really like the copper dial, and I could see for sure wearing one of those.
Yeah.
Your wrist is really fucking hairy though. You should maybe do something about that.
You should have
for your next picture.
Shaving my wrists.
Matt, you should have ordered 3 more. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was it.
Well, congrats. That's a sharp watch. A way to be first on that one. So that just cock blocks all of us from getting that watch now.
I've never cock blocked.
No, you guys can always buy it. It's fine. And yeah, that's the episode. Done deal. You guys got anything else before we leave?
Not now. I was going to talk about some bourbon, but we'll save it for next time.
Okay. I'm on vacation next week, so I don't know if we'll have an episode next week. You guys are more than welcome to record if you want. If not, then we'll see you in 2 weeks. All right. Hit the website, whiskeywatchingwheels.com, YouTube, Instagram. And on that note, peace out. Catch y'all later.
Bye-bye.